What if I told you that many men completely miss the moment a woman actually wants intimacy with them? And not because they are unattractive, but because they misunderstand her signals. I'm going to speak to you honestly as a woman who studies female psychology. Most women don't communicate desire the way men expect. They rarely say it directly. Instead, they reveal it through subtle emotional behaviors that most men ignore, misread, or even accidentally ruin. Men are taught to look for obvious signs, clear words, direct invitations, but female attraction often works through emotional safety first. When a woman feels both curiosity and comfort with you, her behavior begins to shift in ways that are small but powerful. The first sign most men overlook is emotional curiosity. When a woman wants deeper connection with you, she begins asking questions that move beyond normal conversation. At first, it might seem casual. She might ask about your childhood, your values, your past relationships, or the way you handle stress. Many men assume this is just friendly talk, but psychologically, it's something else entirely. Women naturally test emotional depth before allowing physical closeness. When she becomes curious about the layers of your personality, she is subconsciously measuring whether intimacy with you would feel safe, meaningful, and exciting. Notice something important here. The questions don't feel like an interview, they feel personal. She listens carefully to your answers. She remembers small details. She circles back to topics you mentioned earlier. That's not accidental. When a woman invests mental energy in understanding you, it means you've moved beyond being just another guy in the room. You've become someone she is studying, someone she is emotionally considering. Many men make a mistake at this moment. They either give shallow answers or turn the conversation into a performance. They try too hard to impress. Ironically, that often pushes women away. What actually creates attraction is authenticity with calm confidence. When you answer honestly and stay relaxed, her curiosity grows stronger. Think about it like this. Attraction for many women is like opening a door slowly. Each meaningful conversation unlocks another layer of trust and intrigue. And when a woman begins opening those layers with you, she is allowing you closer to her inner world. That inner world is where emotional intimacy starts. And once emotional intimacy begins, physical closeness often follows naturally. But here is the truth most men were never told. A woman rarely moves toward intimacy with a man she feels emotionally disconnected from. Emotional curiosity is her way of building a bridge toward that closeness. If you learn to recognize this moment and respond with calm presence instead of pressure, something powerful begins to happen. She starts leaning closer into your energy, not because you forced attraction, but because she feels understood, intrigued, and safe exploring deeper connection with you. And that is where the real dynamic between men and women begins to change. Because once a woman starts emotionally investing in understanding you, the next shift in her behavior becomes even more revealing. And that shift often surprises men the most. The second sign is subtle, but when you notice it, you'll never miss it again. A woman who wants intimacy with you will begin creating reasons to stay close to you, not in an obvious way, not in a dramatic way. Women are often far more discreet than men when it comes to attraction. Instead, she begins adjusting small things in her environment just to remain in your presence a little longer. Maybe the conversation ends, but she doesn't leave immediately. Maybe she could easily walk away, but instead she asks one more question. Maybe she lightly touches your arm during conversation or laughs a little longer than necessary. These behaviors may seem small, but psychologically, they reveal something powerful. Proximity is one of the strongest indicators of attraction in human behavior. When someone wants closeness, their body naturally moves toward the person who makes them feel excited or emotionally alive. Women are especially sensitive to energy and emotional atmosphere. If she feels comfortable and stimulated by your presence, she begins extending the moment. She might sit closer than expected. She might maintain eye contact slightly longer. She might mirror your body language without even realizing it. This mirroring effect is something psychologists observe frequently. When attraction grows, people subconsciously synchronize their behavior with the person they are drawn to. If you lean back, she might lean back. If you smile, she smiles. If you slow your voice and speak calmly, her tone softens too. This isn't manipulation, it's human connection unfolding naturally. But here is where many men sabotage themselves. The moment they notice closeness, they panic internally. They either rush forward too aggressively or they become awkward and withdraw their confidence. Both reactions break the emotional rhythm that was building. Attraction thrives in emotional stability. When you remain grounded and relaxed while she moves closer, you create a sense of psychological safety. She feels that you are comfortable with connection rather than desperate for it, and that difference matters more than most men realize. Confidence is not loud, it's not pushy, it's calm presence. A woman who wants intimacy is paying attention to how you handle closeness. If you respect the moment without forcing it, her comfort grows deeper. And comfort is the doorway through which intimacy enters. Remember something important. Women rarely chase intimacy through pressure. They move toward it through emotional permission. When your presence feels safe, exciting, and emotionally steady, she begins allowing the possibility of deeper connection. That's when the atmosphere changes. The conversation becomes warmer, the eye contact becomes stronger, and suddenly, something unspoken begins forming between both of you. It's subtle, but powerful. And once that emotional tension appears, the final sign begins to emerge. A sign that reveals not just attraction, but trust. The third sign is something most men completely misunderstand. When a woman wants intimacy with you, she begins revealing vulnerability. Now listen carefully, because vulnerability is often mistaken for weakness. In reality, it's one of the strongest indicators of emotional trust a woman can show. Women don't open their emotional world to men they feel unsafe around. They protect that part of themselves carefully. But when attraction and comfort grow together, something shifts inside her psychology. She begins letting you see parts of her life that she normally hides from others. She might talk about a challenge she faced in the past. She might share something that made her insecure. She might open up about fears, ambitions, or personal struggles. Many men don't recognize the significance of this moment. They treat it like ordinary conversation. But emotionally, something very important is happening. She is testing whether you can handle her truth without judgment. When a woman reveals vulnerability, she is quietly asking a question. Can this man respect my emotions, or will he misuse them? Your response in this moment shapes the future of the connection more than anything else. If you dismiss her feelings, make jokes, or turn the focus back to yourself, the emotional door closes quickly. But when you listen calmly and respond with understanding, something powerful happens. Her trust deepens, and trust is one of the strongest foundations for intimacy. A woman who feels emotionally seen begins relaxing around you in ways that are impossible to fake. Her body language softens, her tone becomes warmer, her presence feels more open. This emotional openness often leads to stronger physical chemistry as well. Because intimacy is not just about attraction, it's about emotional safety mixed with desire. Think about the difference between being liked and being trusted. Many men can attract attention, but far fewer men create the kind of emotional environment where a woman feels safe expressing her real self. When you become that man, you step into a completely different level of connection. Women begin feeling drawn to you, not just physically, but emotionally. And that combination creates the kind of intimacy most people spend years searching for. But here's the most fascinating part. When a woman reaches this level of comfort with you, her signals become clearer, her attention becomes stronger, and the emotional energy between you both becomes impossible to ignore. That's when attraction transforms into something deeper, something real. something that many men never even realize was quietly building in front of them the entire time. Here is the truth most men were never taught. Women rarely announce their desire for intimacy in obvious ways. Instead, they reveal it through emotional investment, presence, and trust. First, she becomes curious about your inner world. Then she finds reasons to stay close to you. And finally, she opens parts of her emotional life that she protects from everyone else. These three shifts are not random behaviors. They are psychological signals that a deeper connection is forming. But recognizing the signs is only half the story. What truly determines whether intimacy grows or disappears is how you respond to those moments. Many men believe attraction is created through clever lines, pressure, or constant pursuit. But female psychology often responds far more strongly to emotional steadiness. When you remain calm, attentive, and confident without forcing the moment, something powerful happens. You become a space where she feels both excitement and safety at the same time. And that emotional combination is extremely rare. Think about how most interactions between men and women unfold today. Some men push too aggressively. Others hide their interest completely out of fear. Very few men learn the balance between presence and patience. But that balance is exactly what creates genuine intimacy. When a woman senses that you are comfortable with connection without needing to control it, her attraction often deepens naturally. She feels respected rather than pressured, seen rather than judged, drawn rather than chased. And that emotional dynamic changes everything. Because true intimacy is not something that can be forced into existence. It grows in moments where two people feel safe, revealing who they really are. That's why understanding these signals is so powerful. Not so you can manipulate someone, but so you can recognize when a real connection is forming and respond with maturity instead of confusion. And now I want to ask you something personal. Think about the last time you felt a strong connection with a woman. Did she start asking deeper questions about your life? Did she find reasons to stay near you longer than expected? Did she open up emotionally in ways that surprised you? I want you to answer honestly. Which one of these three signs have you experienced the most? Write your answer in the comments. And if this video helped you understand female psychology in a deeper way, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a friend who needs to hear this truth.